Welcome, all my future homeowners out there. My name is Omar Pineda, your awesome realtor with eXp Realty, and today we are in the city of Georgetown, Texas, in a brand new community called Overlook Ranch, and the builder we're looking at is KB Homes. KB Homes has 218 homes available in this community, and then they're done. So really quickly here, this is a model home that's a two-story, the only model home that's a two-story, and this community snapshot here on the top left corner is a PDF of all the information I've consolidated for this community. So if you're looking for the most if you're looking for the answers for the most frequently asked questions for this community, you can either try to find it on their website, or you can send me an email, follow my instructions, and I will send you the Google Doc with all the answers for all the questions that you will see. And if you can't see that here, then you can definitely see that in the description while I have everything laid out for you. So that's something to keep in mind. So let's tour this two-story floor plan called 2410. 2410 is the name of this floor plan, and KB Homes is straight to the point where that's exactly the square footage of the home, 2,410. Now, on the first floor, you're going to have the primary bedroom and half a bath or powder room. All the additional bedrooms are going to be on the second floor. So if you're looking for a house with the primary bedroom and an additional guest bedroom on the first floor, then this floor plan would not work out for you. But the additional bedroom, it might be able to work out in a different floor plan, because they are offering 10 different floor plans, I believe. On their two-story, they have a few more options, so you can definitely see if they have the two bedroom on the first floor. Now, here on the top right corner of the screen, you'll see, let me pause here for a second. When I uploaded my video on TikTok describing this floor plan, a lot of the comments were saying how KB Homes was not like the best built home, not very quality homes. And when I spoke with the sales rep about that, she was very kind enough to send me a lot of these internal PDF kind of presentations of the construction side, so you can see exactly what that process looks like, because they really stand by their product. Remember, KB Homes, I know, is probably a nationwide builder, but here in this community, they're different. And remember, real estate's hyper local, so just because you may have seen that elsewhere doesn't mean that this particular community is going to follow suit, right? And because they were very open to give me this information, I think that gives them a lot of credit, because they want to build a good quality product here in the Georgetown area. So that's what that will be. It'll cycle through a few more photos, so you can pause to really take a look at that. If I get a lot of comments on the kind of building process, I will reach back out to the sales rep and see if I can do like another video during the earlier phases of construction, so you can see exactly what it looks like behind the scenes. But that's a strong maybe if I can get enough love on this video, so I can show the salesperson like, hey, there's a lot of demand for this community and they want to know. So I know that will help me present my case. So here we're going to be looking at, this is the primary bedroom. Now, one thing I do like about the primary bedroom for this floor plan is that the walk-in closet is on the opposite end of the primary bath. So that's important, because I know some buyers that's a personal preference of not having the bathroom kind of connected to the primary bath, because they don't want that steam. They don't want just any of that moisture to go on their clothing. So in this floor plan, you wouldn't have to deal with that. So here you have the tub shower combo. Now you'll see on their KB website, on their homes, they have a fantastic website when it comes to checking out all the different alternatives when it comes to the finishes and just the what the upgrades look like. So if you're not a tub person, you can get an extended long shower, and you can see what that looks like on their website. So that's fantastic that KB Homes does that. So a little bit about this floor plan. You can go to 4 to 5 beds, right? This floor model that we're looking at now has a total of 5 bedrooms. I think there's 4 up top and 1 here on the bottom. And so 2.5 baths, 3.5 baths. That's going to be huge, because upstairs for the model, they just have 1 bathroom, and you definitely can upgrade it to have an additional bathroom, so you can have 2 bathrooms upstairs, which I think would be very practical. Here's some nice deep storage right underneath the staircase. There up there is the powder room that they have for where your guest would use, and that's at the very front of the house. And then right next to it is your coat closet. So again, remember, on the first floor, you have the primary towards the back of the house, so that's good for privacy. And then you have your powder room, your guest bathroom towards the very front entrance of the house, which is also good because you can have that separation. So here, I like what they did here with the second floor. You're gonna have a loft area and a game room area. So you could decide which is which. I think the game room is definitely a little bit bigger in size than the loft area, but just think. And I like how they have the stairs kind of split in between the two rooms, so you can see that divide. So you can definitely have lot space upstairs to either have a home office, or you can have like almost a second living space upstairs, especially if the kids' bedrooms are going to be upstairs. They're going to have like that way the first floor living room does not get a huge chaotic mess because you can have it upstairs and it's out of sight, out of mind. So there's 3 bedrooms upstairs. I think this is a 4-bedroom house. If I said 5 bedrooms earlier, I was mistaken. There's 4 bedrooms altogether, but there's only 1 bath. That's the only drawback, is that there's only 1 bath, and I wish there was 2. But if you look at the website, and I'll show you here in a second what that looks like, you can definitely upgrade to have an additional bathroom upstairs. So a huge selling point for this community that I know once more and more people find out, they're going to be really looking at Overlook Ranch, is that tax rate. That tax rate is low for a brand new build community. 1.81% is definitely a very competitive tax rate. There is no mud, pit, or pud. So 1.81% is what you pay, and that's going to age very nicely in the future, because a lot of new construction builders out here in Williamson County, they have higher property taxes, right? In part because they have to upgrade a lot of the infrastructure, but because of where this community is situated and located, they don't have to do all that. So that's why 1.81% is what it is, and that's going to be great for you in the years to come, because you're not going to have a surprise, because those property taxes do add up. And if your home goes up 1 or 2% in value, you're going to feel that when it comes to property tax time. But that 1.81% is going to help with that burden, that future burden, because it is a low tax rate. $70 a month is very competitive. That's not competitive, but that's a good average of what I'm seeing, especially what you get for it, right? There's going to be a basketball court, a pavilion, a pickleball court, a playground, and walking trails by the pond by the end of phase 2. Okay, so there's 4 1-story floor plans, and there's 6 2-story floor plans. So you're gonna have options on the layout, but they only have 3 model homes that they built for you to view. But their website is fantastic, so you can see what the other floor plans look like, and then you can mess a little bit with the configurations that we'll see here in a sec. One thing to keep in mind for the model homes is that there's so many upgrades in the model homes that when you look at what the cost is going to be for all these upgrades, it's probably going to sticker shock you. And that's why I think the website is clutch, because you want to see just what the options look like. And then when you go to the design center to get more information, what the pricing is going to look like, you can figure out the budget there, right? But keep in mind, this community does have some flexible cash as an incentive to close with them and get pre-approved with their lender. So you could use maybe some of that money to offset some of those upgrades. Or for most buyers, they're using it to buy down the interest rate low enough so they can make it affordable. But if that's not your situation and you want to use that for the home upgrades, you definitely can. The cash right now, the flexible cash option, is very nice, where you have the flexibility to either help buy down the interest rate, pay for some of the closing costs, or pay for some home upgrades. And that's important because in the past, especially during the height, like when it was a seller's market during the pandemic, any incentives for the builders were offering were only for the home upgrades. They were not used to help buy down the interest rate or almost bring next to nothing to the closing table, because you can almost do both depending on your specific financial circumstances. So I'm going to pause the video here because I want to share my screen so you can take a look at some things. So here's the KB website. This is the plan we were looking at, 2410. Here is where I was saying you can add the option of having an additional bathroom. So you could see it changes here in real time. So the orange is the change. So you make that game room a little bit less smaller, especially if you plan on, since you're going to have a loft on the other side anyway. And that way this bedroom can have its own bath. And now that makes a little bit more sense, having 2 bathrooms upstairs, because you have 3 bedrooms upstairs. Right, so that's definitely an option. Or, because that probably would be costly, you can just add an additional sink to that bathroom. That might be a cheaper option. So you see how it's great. So you could see that visually, and then that way you can ask better questions when you're going to the design center, or if you're speaking with me, about what that would cost and look like, right? So another thing I really wanted to show you was just how awesome this location is. And I think with the tax rate and where it's located, that's going to be a huge draw for people, because it's, even though you are in Georgetown, Texas, right? You're almost kind of like in the southeast part of Georgetown, right? Because right here is downtown Georgetown. This is where the famous Georgetown Square is, where there's so much little coffee shops and fine dining, and you have the courthouse here. It's just really pretty to walk. I always take my out of state visitors to Georgetown because it's just so pretty. And then you have the San Gabriel River here. There's so many parks that you can do. You can go fishing. You can just go for a walk. It's so lovely. I really like going to Georgetown because it's very walkable. There's a lot of nature surrounding just all the everywhere, right? It's very walkable. If you're talking about third places, if you've been following that trend, Georgetown has so many third places that you can go and walk and not have to pay anything. That's what I really like about, and Round Rock too. I would argue Round Rock too. There's so many activities, both indoor and outdoor, that you can do. And then again, I think that's the prime spot of this location, is that you're going to be with Round Rock and Georgetown. There's so many things to do, right? And then you're going to be close to some major highways, right? You're going to have I-35 or Toll 130 to go to work if you're not working from home, right? Having two options is going to be clutch, because chances are you can probably be working south, right? And I know from this going to a lot of these builders already, when I ask about like what the kind of makeup of the community is, as far as like are they young professionals, or are they more people moving down and things of that nature, a lot of people who are coming to this area are they're young professionals working in the tech sector, right? And it's within a nice commute of Palmer Lane. A lot of the tech corporate offices are off Palmer Lane, and you could definitely get there by taking I-35. Palmer Lane's right here. Let me zoom in a little bit. Right here, right? So right here, and the Domain has a bunch. It's like our second downtown. There's a lot of corporate offices there. So that's between that commute from right here to this community. That commute time, I would say, is within 30 minutes. So that's not too shabby, especially because you're going to be so close to everything else on the weekends. I think that's going to be a good give and take there, right? And I've done videos on Round Rock. There's just so many things to do here. I mean, you have Old Settlers Park. There's so many courts there. So if you have kids, I mean, that's why they call Round Rock the sports capital of the world, because of all the parks and courts that we have. You have the Kalahari Water Park. That's great indoor water park. I haven't been there yet, but I haven't been in the water park, but I've been in the actual on site, and it's huge. It's definitely a must see. You have Dell Diamond to see AAA ball. I mean, there's just so many things to do, and just look at all this green. There's so much nature to walk, so many rivers that you can just walk on a whim. That's one thing I like about Austin, is that you're never that far from a stream, river, lake, what have you, a body of water, so you can just walk in and unwind for the day. So I think the location, the low tax rate, the amount of options you have in terms of how you can customize the home are going to be big reasons why you should come check out KB Homes in Overlook Ranch. And just really quickly before I end things for this video, let me show you here. These are the 3 model homes that they've built. And you can see right now they're currently offering everything in green here is available. They just sold one the other week, but you can see just how many homes they have more available, especially if you're a buyer looking for a premium lot location. Look at the end of this cul-de-sac. These are huge lots that we can take a look and see what that would cost, right? But keep in mind, they are offering some financial incentives to help with the interest rate, help with the closing costs, and maybe help with some upgrades. It's flexible, so we could use it to help you out the best way with your circumstances, right? So what should you do if you're a buyer looking to buy something within the next 30 to 60 days? I'll have all my information linked in the description. Let's definitely schedule time to chat. Usually the Zoom call, the virtual chat, is the most convenient and quickest way for us to get some face-to-face time, and we can go over your criteria. We can figure out how I can be of best value on where you're at in your journey, and see if this community is the right fit. Remember, there's so many communities surrounding Overlook Ranch that others might make more sense. And I know of other communities nearby that have a low tax rate too, that have a completely different feel and vibe to them. So we can definitely go over all that in greater detail during our discussion there. If you're a home buyer and you're looking at 60, 90 days plus before you're ready to buy, let's still get a time to chat. Usually I've come to find out that my buyers who think they're not ready, they just have the wrong information, right? And remember, I do not work alone. I work with a lot of smart people, both in lending, both in credit repair, and they are all problem solvers like me, right? And there's a way for it. There's always a way. There's always a workaround. And that's the kind of attitude and mentality I have with the people that work with me. They think the exact same way. There's always a way to work around the problem, right? So we're definitely go-getters. And that way we have time on our side. When we have time on our side, we can definitely figure things out together, and you don't have to do it alone, okay? And remember this, during like our consultation, one thing that I really want to stress and kind of how I operate is I first want you to fall in love with the floor plan first. Then I want you to really dig the community, and then we can figure out the financial incentives, right? I know I can negotiate that and get us a good rate and get us some good terms because I keep track of all that from all the surrounding builders, right? You can see my YouTube channel. I tour a lot of new builds. I keep track of everything and have my own reports. That way I know how to negotiate on your behalf, right? And I know that that part I know I can take care of. The part I need you to take care of is checking as many boxes as we can with the floor plan and what you want to get out of the community, because all of them are different. Some are more active than others. If you just really want to be in a more quiet community and just live your life, we can definitely find that. And there's some communities that probably wouldn't be a good fit because there's always things happening, right? So it just really depends on what your preferences are. And I'll leave it at that. I'm going to wrap things up for this video. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up with all things new construction. I tour these new builds weekly and I upload weekly because I do all my own editing. I fly my own drone. I do it all, right? So I'm able to do that. So I'm able to push out content quickly because sometimes a lot, especially if it's an incentive that's only for that weekend or maybe for that month, you don't want to miss out. And that's why I do my best to really churn out these videos so I get this information to you and you have some time to figure it out so we can take advantage of those incentives. Okay, so I'll wrap things up for this video. Again, my name is Omar Pineda. I'm your Austin Realtor with eXp Realty. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.